Okay, y'all, how I made another $1,000 today. I started off with the loss, and honestly, I would have made more. I honestly had my first take profit at the top of this fair value gap, or I was gonna do London, but once I realized I would make like 1,300 at at Asian, once I realized I was gonna make 1,300 at London, I just took my money. But let's talk about my loss. So today was again one of those days. It's been doing the same thing the last three trading days, but obviously no trading day is the same. So you can't go off that. However, when I got on the charts, we were right here. London had already been swept. That was so this here. Next liquidity was here. So PM session, New York PM session, and then we had, these liquidity points. I had feeling it kind of could go up because we had this 1 hour red fair value gap and an inverse. So if I would have gone at 8:30, that would have been the trade. It went up inverse to this liquidity. I was scared it was going to go all the way up to here, so that was my first trade. However, I got in early on this candle because you see how the candle started running up. So I was gonna be pissed if it like closed up here and then my move would be tiny. However, this is why you wait for a candle close because look, I got in and it wicked down. So I said once we get candle close above this swing high that broke this liquidity, we were going to go up. This would have been a good trade though, the inverse fair value gap to this liquidity, that would have been a decent trade. That was a nice move, but obviously that wasn't my move. I'll get on that 9:30 now. Love 9:30, but look at all these wick candles. It was very unsure this morning. All wicks on both sides. Then we have this candle. I got in once we closed below this swing low here. Then 10 a.m. news came up, brought it back up to this fair value gap. And then look at these wicks. It was just very unserious for a minute. And then it came back after news to the fair value gap again and then went straight down. So I really should have done look Asian low because on the 1 hour, this is the fair value gap, Asian low, and then 50% of this entire big move is right here. So I could have even done the top of this fair value gap, but like I said, I just want to take my money and, be done. That's how I trade. So I definitely did want to hold that a little bit though. I really did. But I moved it to London once I saw that I was already at like $700 once we got down to here. So we were going to be at 1,200 here. And like I said, doing like $1,000 a day. Or I'm actually trying to, get funded. Like I said, I'm over trading funded accounts. So wow, look at this. Going crazy. I'm over doing funded accounts. So I traded 8 contracts today. So I'm probably going to trade 10 minis or even 15 minis tomorrow or even the rest of the week and try to do like 2K, I want to do like 3K days basically, like this move being 3K. I was confident in this move. Honestly, going, my bias was down because once you go on the chart, look at this big move. We had a fair value gap underneath and we already swept the London highs. I didn't think it was going to go up higher to go down, but I had a feeling we were going lower. So these wicks just faked me out. If I waited for the candle to close, I would have known because the next candle, once we did those big wicks to the top, straight down. So the loss wouldn't even have been a loss for real, for real. But again, I was confident in this trade because I knew my loss was only going to be $300 because once we didn't close and the next candle was white, I just got right back in. It was one of those losses where like sometimes you can take a risky trade like that if you are confident, kind of like on Friday, like when I bought my sell if it were to fake me out and go up, I knew we were going up the rest of the day. So that's how this was. If we weren't going up, I knew we were going down the rest of the day because that's what my original bias was. And I could have my take profit at the top of this fair value gap or all the way to this 50%. But sometimes, it will go down, trade up, trade sideways, and then tomorrow will go down to 50%. So you don't really know where it's going to go, but it's going to London for sure or Asian. These were kind of far apart, but not too far apart where I was like, usually whatever one's lower, I do the Asian one. So I should have done Asian. But what all these wicks and all this like mess is when I started to move my stop loss up to London session lows, which is great. Like you're not mad. You made money. Whatever's after that is hearsay because it didn't have to do this. Obviously, we're seeing it do it in real time. However, I sold right there. Selling at Asian would have been perfect. Selling at 50% is goaded. But yeah, so I think tomorrow I actually might do 15 contracts. I've been trading really well in Q. NQ moves a lot faster. I've only been on charts an hour a day. Waiting until 9:30 because it will confirm some stuff for you, like, you know, Obviously, I did get faked out on these wicks. However, what else I want to show as well to confirm? I've been trading these inverse fair value gaps. You know, dodgy DDS has been putting me on. So we had this fair value gap made when I got on the charts, and this one made all before. This is 930. Once we inverse these, we are going down. That's it. We made them. We went up from them. We went up. We swept this liquidity. This is what we call, let's delete this. Turtle soup, straight wicks, no candle close, no nothing. Because it honestly could have went up, traded up a little bit in here, and then reversed. But this long wick right here is straight turtle soup. Like it just swept this liquidity and reversed. And you know what? You got back in it. And once we reversed these, you know you were good. Obviously, 10 o'clock news came up and went a little crazy. And then look at these wicks here. These I don't know wicks here. That's when I moved my stop loss to London. But this could have been take profit for you. It came down, came back up. But like I said, I wanted London. I originally wanted the top of this fair value gap, obviously Asian, and then we're now hitting the top of this fair value gap. So we probably are going to go to 50%. Sometimes it does do that, though. I feel like lately it does. The move you want, it will happen in a session. Like it probably will go all the way down to 50% today. Like it will be fast on ES and NQ. But yeah, just simple price action. And ICT, you can like really predict the direction. You can't predict if it's going all the way down to here or here, but most likely on the 1 hour, it's going to fill a full fair value gap on the 1 hour chart. The 5 minute, it won't. But on the 1 hour, this is the 1 hour fair value gap. That's why I labeled them, the bigger ones, 1 hours, and then the ones that are 5 minutes aren't labeled. Boom. That Asian, and it might reverse from here. Who knows? I definitely, or even I had to take profit, I think, at the 50% of the fair value gap. Just, you know, either one. But like I said, this one is it's going to for sure, 99%. These below, 75, 80. This one probably is a good 80%. And then this one is hearsay. So we'll see. But yeah, good trade. Yeah, 8 contracts. We're looking great. I'm excited. And also, I don't write like the amount I make. I used to write the amount I make on my journal, but I'm trying to just have my emotions the best and not obsess over the money. It's a green day and it'll be an X if it's a red day. And that's just what it is. You have to do what's best for you when it comes to trading because there are times where the money will mess up your emotions. You have to just think about it. I took a good trade. How much money I made doesn't really matter. I took a good trade. And that's how it's going to be, especially when you start going up in lot sizes. You took a good trade. Because I see a lot of people too, once they start making a bunch of money and their lot sizes or contract sizes are big as fuck. Not ICT, because he will trade and he'll take it to liquidity. But I've seen people who like, once they're using like $1,000, $10,000 a day, like they'll make $10,000 on like just this candle and then they'll sell it because they made $10,000. Why else would they hold it to liquidity? Versus like when you're using smaller amounts like we do, we have to wait until it gets to these like liquidity points and trade these longer moves. But a lot of people, once they start trading with 10K, 20K, that can be like one whole candle, they're done. They know it's going down. They'll sell at the bottom of this candle and then boom, they're done. We'll get there one day, maybe, maybe not. So once I go up to 15 contracts tomorrow, we'll see how fast that $1,000 hits. But I'm trying to get to 3. 3 grand tomorrow will be, boom, we'll be halfway funded. Halfway to funded. Hey y'all, how I made another $1,000 today.